What's up, guys? So in this video, what I want to cover is be somewhat of a news update slash information release slash things I want to warn you about to be aware of in the very near future. Now, the inspiration for this video comes from checking out David Seaman's YouTube channel and following him. If you don't know who David Seaman is, he is an ex-Huffington Post reporter who's been one of the major, if not the major voice in the Pizzagate investigation. His YouTube channel has almost 150,000 subscribers now, and he is doing completely independent investigative reporting. So he cut, all his ties within the mainstream media. He solely relies on his YouTube earnings and Patreon account and whatnot. So he completely does it independently. He's been an awesome voice ever since the Pizzagate stuff came out. And David Seaman did a video a few days ago covering David Wilcock's information, which was freaking cool, in my opinion. From my eyes, I was like, oh, David's covering David. This is neat. And the release of all this information is just going to exponentially increase. A lot more exposure will, it'll get a lot more exposure. Now, what David Seaman was covering was David Wilcock's release of his Ascension Mysteries material in both his book and his YouTube lecture of the same name. In this Ascension Mysteries material, he leaked a lot of information regarding where these people, these Luciferian cult Illuminati members, trace their lineage to, and what they literally believe gives them the divine right to rule over humanity. Now, all this Pizzagate stuff just gave this slight little glimpse into the reality underworld workings of this Luciferian cult, right? Call it what you want, Illuminati, New World Order, what have you, but it's more is coming, more of these disclosures, and this Luciferian cult, right? They trace their lineage from an extraterrestrial presence in our solar system, quite literally. And just a brief overview of that, there used to be another planet in our solar system where the asteroid belt used to be. And this planet often goes by the name of Tiamat. Now, this was a civilization sustaining, right? There's people living on this planet. Apparently they had enemies, as far as I understand it. And this planet got blown up, and the survivors, or the escapee of this war that occurred, crash landed onto the moon and then thus onto planet Earth. And began, they were very weakened. They were very, they were trying to escape all this war and fighting going on, but they crash landed to Earth and began tinkering and fuxing with the life that was on this planet. And that's why us humans have such odd DNA, right? We have 2 less chromosomes than chimpanzees and thousands more genetic defects, right? This explains a lot of the missing link stuff that common science can't explain for. Why do we have 2 fused chromosomes? Why, all these defects and whatnot. So, this is also why this Luciferian elite keeps everything within their bloodlines, right? They're so into this bloodline stuff is because they trace themselves from this extraterrestrial lineage, and they quite literally believe humanity to be of a disgusting DNA subset or whatnot, or to just literally be servants to them. And, it's very interesting to note certain ancient scriptures that were left out of common teaching. The Book of Enoch, right, is a representation of this true story, right? The Watchers, the fallen angels, the descendants of that. So it's interesting. Once this information comes out, a lot of dots keep connecting there. Anyway, moving on to what's going on now and what we need to be aware of in the future is Antarctica. So apparently when these ancient extraterrestrials crash landed on Earth, they crash landed in Antarctica because whether it was a pole shift that happened or different orientation of the Earth, what is Antarctica used to be a land continent, not used to have so much ice on it. And they crash landed onto Antarctica, and the theories, or apparently what's now coming out is that Antarctica is what Atlantis actually was. And there is a lot of build out, a lot of ancient structures on this continent, along with these motherships. Now, there have actually been, according to information, people down there excavating these motherships out from under the ice that they were buried in for the past about 15 years or so. And they've actually filmed the whole thing. Documentary crews have gone in. And it's very interesting to note, very recently, in the past 6 months or so, how many notable famous figures have gone down to Antarctica randomly. Buzz Aldrin, John Kerry, the Pope, other world leaders have, because what apparently is occurring is that the powers that be, the Luciferian cult, with all these disclosures coming out regarding Pizzagate, regarding just everything, right, with the awakening that's occurring, their ship is sinking. Their time is getting close. They know they're about to get closed in on, and they know very well that there will be trials and tribunals, and you know, there's going to be some shit go down. So, with these Antarctic ruins they're uncovering and they've been filming, what these Luciferian Illuminati members are hoping to try and do is what's called the Antarctic Partial Disclosure Psychological Operation, as it could be so termed. What they're going to want to try and do is, once these trials and tribunals start happening and, you know, we start learning, things start getting disclosed to humanity of what's really going on a mass scale, much more than what's gone on so far with WikiLeaks and whatnot. But once these tribunals happen, they're going to try and give us this information regarding Antarctica, disclose the extraterrestrial buildouts, these giant motherships, these technology, right? 0-point anti-gravity for energetic technologies. Because just imagine that, giving us a tiny little piece of the pie of what really there is, that would just, wow, that would completely blow away the population who has been under kind of that hypnotic trance, and who, the unawakened, they'll be freaking blown away by it, right? And they're hoping to give us just a little bit of the pie, give us a piece of the puzzle, wow us, and have us say, oh, you know, it's okay, we want the rest of that, so then they can hide everything else, what's gone on in our history and what else there might be in our solar system. They're trying to hide everything else, give us a slice of the pie, and maintain their control, right? They're going to have to give up what they wanted. What they wanted is to kill off 90% of humanity. They etched that shit into the Georgia Guidestones. They won't be able to do that, but they'll give us a little bit of the puzzle, but hope to maintain control, have a slow rollout of the rest of everything, and still try and have some power. And we can't let that happen. We have to brush ourselves up on the knowledge of everything else that's going on, and really have a level head once this all comes out, right? Comes out in the mainstream and gets blown wide open. And I think that's going to happen very, very soon. Very soon. And, right, we've already seen, just do a search of Antarctica over the past month. There's been so many reports coming out on, most of it's been in tabloid stuff, but it'll soon gravitate towards more mainstream. Even in the mainstream, there's been a lot of articles on Antarctica, and in the tabloids, still mainstream, but tabloids, they literally had articles on pyramids in Antarctica and, you know, weird stuff found down there. So they're prepping. They're prepping the mass consciousness to release this information, and it's up to us to have a very keen eye on what they tell us, and more importantly, what they don't tell us. So that's the video I wanted to do. Try to tie everything in and do as best I can to connect the dots with this story, because, you know, I only want to get better at telling it, and you guys need to get good at telling it and very familiar with it, so you can tell your friends and family what's really going on when shit starts hitting the fan, right? The fecal matter starts hitting the oscular rotator. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Brush yourself up on this information. I'll link some stuff down below. And if you enjoy the work I do, subscribe, share, donate, support. So, peace.